Hello and welcome to game 4 against MunkFSH. New cards, what are we looking at? We've seen Barbarian break decks, we've seen Contract, have we? Alright, I can't remember. So, 2 coin, you gain a favor from the contract, and you can set aside an action and play it at the start of your next turn. So it helps deal with terminal collision. I think we saw this already. Modify, we've seen Skirmisher, we've seen the Students. Broker, we've seen Innkeeper, we've seen. The only thing we haven't seen is the ally. Trapper's Lodge. Trapper's Lodge. I have it big coming up here soon. When you gain a card, you may spend a favor to top deck it. Seems good. Seems very good. MunkFSH uses that ability to top deck a broker, and I like it, so I will do that myself. I will trash an estate. They get 2 coins from it. They get a student to pair with their broker. So I can also get a student. By now, you know I have great liking for the wizard pile. Yeah, we want the student to trash down alongside the broker. Hopefully the broker could get the estates. The students could get the copper. And looking at the kingdom, I didn't see much draw. I didn't see any draw actually in the kingdom. So to me, it looked like you just play some skirmishers and some barbarians and hope for the best. But was I wrong? There's draw. You just have to look hard enough and you find draw. Broker draws, first of all. I don't know why I said there was no draw. Broker draws. You know, an engineer gains, so you could gain a 4 cost with the engineer. Use the broker, trash it to gain 4 cards. You have villages in village green, so you can exclusively use the broker for draw. But there's another trick, and I completely missed this trick. MunkFish does not miss the trick, and they pick up on it very early in the piece here. We'll see it as we get into the game. So student comes out, rotates into conjurer. Broker trashes an estate. I assume this is for money. And with 3 or 2, they go ahead, they get an engineer and they top deck the engineer. I found that peculiar. I rotated away from conjurer because Lich boys, we're Lich fans out here. But I need better reasoning than that moving forward. Anyway, so this pick, they rotate into the Lich for me. I couldn't believe they did that, but nobody has 6 coins yet, so it's completely safe. Yeah, I couldn't understand this engineer. And they use it to gain a village green, fine, you know, whatever, I understand, maybe you want the greens. And then they top deck a green, and they gain an innkeeper, and they top deck the innkeeper as well. So I said, okay, you know, fine, I'll get an engineer, I guess some greens. I need some greens, you know, maybe to play some barbarians, maybe a modify or something of the sort. I'll get the greens. Wait. What is happening here? Innkeeper discards the village green. The village green draw. Oh no. No. We missed that. You could use the innkeeper to discard the village greens, and then you trigger the village greens, and they draw cards. Oh no. How did we miss that? That's bad. Alright, well now that we've seen it, can we catch up here? We'll try. I don't have an innkeeper yet. And MunkFSH has been going aggressively after these engineers, top decking them with the favors they've gained from the student trash and copper. So they have built very quickly here with a combination of double gain from engineer and the top decking from the Trapper's Lodge. My word. We will say Trapper's Lodge from now on, because I couldn't be bothered to say that apostrophe. All right, so all right, let's see what we could do, if we can catch up at all here. Engineer comes out, gains another innkeeper, makes perfect sense now that I see what is happening. They also have a conjurer, which is Even more bad is even worse news for me. Because they are gaining from the engineer, they are gaining from the conjurer, and all of these forecast cards are good things to gain. Broker draws, broker gives actions. Village green is great for the innkeepers. The innkeepers work with the village green. My word, we are so far behind here. They are almost able to see their whole deck at this point. I wouldn't even say downside, but they don't have much money in the deck. Maybe that's something I could capitalize on. That is probably the only thing that I could capitalize on. There's no plus buy either, so that they can't really take advantage of buying many peddlers here. Small consolation, I guess. I would be even further behind if there was a plus buy. I think. Whoa, what happened there? Don't move the screen. Thank you. Sorry about that. Broker trashes their last estate to see the whole deck. And they rotate back to the Lich. I'm not sure why. Maybe they want Lich too. Maybe they like Lich. Engineer, no, they're not trashing the engineer. They're just using it as a gainer, just like a conjurer. And they buy another engineer. So they have tremendous pile control. Finally, I get an innkeeper, and I will top deck it with my Trapper's Lodge. I get a village green as well, and my actions to repay my debt so that I can rebuy an engineer. All right, innkeeper finds 2 of their village greens, and they draw 2 cards with it. That's good value. Very, very good value. And they will now play their many gainers. They're 2 engineers and single conjurer, I believe. So they will get all the village greens. They win that split 7-3 or something ridiculous like that. Student will continue to trash down for them. And they could easily build back up their economy by gaining silver with the engineers and the conjurers. So there's no real problem for them to be trashing so aggressively. Broker trashes the silver here, repays debt. Another engineer seems totally fine to me. I think they buy a peddler here instead. But again, that's completely fine. Here, alright. This is... I didn't know how this works, okay? I was very confused when this happened. MunkFSH had to explain this to me. You'll see it in the chat later. I play my nice innkeeper, find all my village greens, discard them. It's okay, let me trigger these things. The first one triggered, but then the others didn't trigger, and I was so confused. But if you trigger a shuffle... So, alright, let me try to explain this. You discard the village greens, right? Then the game says, hey, do you want to trigger village green? Yeah, I do. Okay. So then you have to go look in the discard, find a village green you want to trigger, get it in play. What do you want to do with this? Play it now or later? Next turn. I said I wanted to play it now. My discard was empty, so that triggered a shuffle. No, it wasn't empty. It had 2 village greens in it. But my deck was empty, so I triggered a shuffle. So now when the game wants to look for the other village green that it thinks it's in the discard, goes there, doesn't find it, it says, well, you don't have a village green here anymore, scrub. You don't get any effect. Anyways, I tried not to dwell too much on it during the game here. Hopefully I could figure it out as Monkfish takes their turn, which takes some time at this point. They have many things to gain to sort out. But I didn't. I had to ask Monkfish. Hey, I need some help. I need some advice for a friend. Because I saw they made a similar play here, right? They used the innkeeper, triggered 3 village greens. Why are your village greens special, Monkfish? Why can't my village greens be special like that? And here they explain to me after they take their turn, of course. So, I'm not really sure what they gained here. I was too preoccupied with with my malfunction in village greens. They gain conjurer. Here they end up with all 4 conjurers, which is an achievement, I think. All 4 of the conjurer wizard pile goes to MunkFSH. I didn't pick up a single one during the game. Yeah, mostly because I didn't see the value in forecasts. Yeah, so an engineer gains a conjurer gains a conjurer. I think they have one more engineer. Well, they trashed the peddler for coin, I assume. Yeah, engineer gains the last conjurer. They gain a modifier. They have so many gains. It's not. It's not even funny how many gains they have. Yeah, so here I only have the one village green, and I know now that, well, okay, just because since it's only one, it doesn't matter if I trigger the shuffle there. I discarded something else. What did I discard? The innkeeper. No, I discarded copper, village green. Oh yeah, I do have a second innkeeper. Great, 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 great. So the innkeepers are at the top of the deck, which is what I wanted. My deck is not spectacular. It has 2 silver in it, and I have 2 debt. I'm not really sure how I'm going to come out of this. With my severe lack of gains, I don't have any engineers either. I actually have no gains. What is this? Why didn't I resign here? I just bought a peddler, I assume. Right, there's nothing else to buy. Or did I buy an engineer? No, we buy the peddler. Whatever. Move on. Anyways, here I think, yeah, do I get piled out on in this turn? I think I do get piled out on this turn. I'm not sure. No, it's the next turn. It's the next turn. They can't do it this turn, can they? I think they just set up for the pileout on the on the next turn here. Yeah, so really I just missed the village green interaction, so that's my fault. I bungled this. You just watch what Monkfish does and you'll learn how to play this kingdom. Now the innkeepers are +3 cards. Look at that. Tremendous. Wow, that's impressive. Each innkeeper found 3 village greens and they triggered all of them for plus card. Yeah, so they do have the 4 conjurers and 2 engineers, I believe. Let me see how they actually play this out here, because I wasn't paying attention. I knew I was lost, and I was, reveling in the newfound knowledge of the village green interaction when shuffles happen. Okay, so a student was remodeled into a sorcerer to give me a curse. Okay, that seems fine. What do you gain here? Probably just some brokers, right? I assume they want to buy a province too, but really, I can't do anything. I have no gainers in the deck. So they could lower piles very comfortably here without worrying about any threat from me. By the way, the trash pile is ripe. So many engineers, a peddler. I just need a little bit more time to get to the lich. And then I can start, doing some lich magic. The lich is a wizard after all. The lich has to do magic. Can I get to the lich? I don't know. Alright, broker trashes an innkeeper for money. Conjurer gains. Whoa, look at these conjurers. So they gain 3 more innkeepers. And a broker. Fine. And they buy an engineer. And pass it back to me there. Yeah, with no pile threat, they can buy almost anything and not lose. Alright, so we find 1 village green with this innkeeper. The second innkeeper finds 2 more. I know better now, so I'll draw with just 1. And I guess I could draw with the other one too. That's fine. Didn't have to. But I did not need the draw. I get to lich. Yes. Lich time. Alright. Maybe we could start doing things with lich. Maybe, but no. Monkfish does not let me play with lich at all. I think the only way they win from here is if they modify an engineer into an engineer, right? And they could conjure up all the innkeepers, and then they'd trashed all the engineers to gain the estates and win. I mean, they didn't even need to do that. Let me see how they did it. Alright, so they get their draw, which is well established at this point. Sorcerer curses me, so they have the points lead there, fine. Innkeeper finally, for what though? Oh, just for card action. So the engineers empty the estates. They have 4 of them. No, 3 of them gain 6 estate. Ah, okay. So they didn't even bother with the engineer pile. Okay, so they empty the estates with the engineers and the conjurers. Alright, so that is game 4. Very nicely played from MunkFSH. We finished this one up 2 each. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.